And we are on. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's rock and roll. Happy Saturday, everyone. Here we go. Hey, Fish. Who was that elderly gentleman that you were just talking to right now?
Oh, that Henry? Oh, nice old guy. He's the first guy I've ever met that was on the Titanic.
That guy survived the Titanic?
I forgot to ask.
Jeez, Fish, don't you think that maybe I would have loved to have heard the story? You should have just called me over.
Well, I thought you've heard it. You know, it's the big boat. It hits an iceberg. It sinks. I mean, that's the story.
But it's the best story ever told. And this is the official start of the weekend. For you, for me, it doesn't matter what kind of song Brad Staggs plays. This is the one. This is the one that improves your day.
Good love.
You know it? I know it.
Truckload.
When you get it.
What you got?
Something.
So don't worry.
Don't worry.
'Cause I'm coming. I'm a soul man.
And with that, we are starting our episode of Room 13. I am Rocky with an I. That gentleman over there is one Mojo Riverfish. We are Room 13 airing here on Mojo 50. We are broadcasting, as we usually do, live from the Desert Air Motel Casino Convention Center. I would say ski slopes, but I think that the snow has mostly melted, so now it's just like puddles of yellow and dirty snow. That's what we've got right now, right?
Yeah, that's about it. That's about
In
it.
Texas.
Although we do have other things to add to our little intro now.
Tiffy, don't let the cat out of the bag.
Ah.
Not yet. Not yet. So, as you know, you can find us on Spreaker, iHeart Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Audible, among many other podcast providers. And breaking news to our listening audience everywhere. We are now on Facebook. You can find us on facebook.com/Room13 Radio Show. And Mojo Riverfish, I will give you the honor of making the announcement of the other social media where we can be located at.
Should I do my Walter Cronkite impression when I do it?
Yes.
This is Walter Cronkite, and Room 13 is now on the TikTok.
I blame you for that.
Is on the TikTok. It makes Ron happy. It made Ron very, very happy.
Well, Riverfish here is a TikTok hoe. Not the bad kind of hoe, but the good kind of hoe. He's the kind-hearted hoe. He is the pretty woman Julia Roberts of TikTok. Not because he puts any videos, but because he's probably the only person that I know. Well, no, two people I know that share TikTok videos with me. And I don't understand why. And I am glad that we are out there and we have a TikTok account. I'm still not going to get on TikTok. So if that was your attempt of trying to convince me to join, my answer is no.
Wait a minute. Who else is sharing TikTok videos with you besides me?
My BFF, Sully. She shares TikTok videos.
I thought you were going to say I thought you were going to say hubby. I thought you were going to say
No.
hubby.
Please.
No?
No. My husband sticks to Facebook for the most part. So, as it is, we started the Facebook account because of you, because we wanted to give our listeners and now viewers the experience of what it's like to record a radio show. We give you like the behind the scenes and a couple of other things that we're working on.
Oh,
But
we
one
have
of the
stuff.
few, yes, one of the few places where we can upload full length videos is Facebook. So for now, and until something better comes along, we will continue to use Facebook to upload the video version of our radio show. So it airs at the same time as the radio show does. It may be ahead or behind a few seconds here or there, but the video is released every Saturday morning at 9 a.m., the same time as the radio show starts. So,
Do you want to give them the behind the scenes conversation we've been having?
which behind the scenes conversation? We have so
Room
many.
service, room service, room service.
Oh, it's housekeeping.
Housekeeping? I thought it was room
It's
service.
it's
Crap.
house. No,
I've been
no.
I hashtagged room service like all week.
Well, I
And
guess you can change it to room service, but it was more like housekeeping. But okay,
no, we'll go
either or.
housekeeping sounds better.
Does it?
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Okay.
it's got a better ring to it.
Yes. So the idea, and we're going to be starting those hopefully soon. We have to work a couple of kinks out. The idea of Room 13 housekeeping is that we hope to do some hits in the middle of the week, maybe once a week or once a month. We're not sure. That's one of the details we're trying to work out, in which we'll just do some fun
Fun.
little Facebook videos. Hopefully, we want to keep it to content that's not necessarily what you will hear on the radio show. We've always said that we're a non-political show, but who knows? In Room 13 housekeeping, it may be a little bit of politics or anything that's not fun and lighthearted like we do with our show every Saturday.
Well, we did discuss doing some visual fun,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
included Rocky taking the one chip Pocky challenge,
Oh, heck, yes. I forgot about that.
us playing Bean Boozled Roulette, and I found something else I definitely want to try.
What's that?
Well, there's a new trend on TikTok where people combine odd foods.
No.
So the one, hold on, before you say no, you sound like every girl I ever dated. Before, just give me a second. Hold on. They take odd foods that you wouldn't think would taste good together, but they kind of do. So the one I'm thinking of that I saw today on TikTok was Oreos dunked in pickle juice.
No.
The guy swore by it.
Mm-mm.
I bet you people would want to see one of us doing that one, like you.
No.
No?
No.
Oh. And we are chasing a sponsor who will be named nameless right now. Don't want to say who it is,
Yes.
but we will be doing some things with that sponsor.
So we have a couple of ideas. We have a couple of ideas, and one of the few places in which we can get away with doing things like that is Facebook. So stay tuned for more content. Like and follow our page. As we said earlier, it's facebook.com/Room13 Radio Show. We hope to post those links on the Mojo 50 Radio page and a couple of other sub pages that are Mojo 50 related. And we'll also be sharing that link on our Twitter account because we still have Twitter. It's at Room 13 Show. And in case you want to talk to me directly, you can do so at Rocky with an I. And if you want to talk to Mr. Fish over there, that is going to be at the River Fish. There is
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm
one
trying to hold still.
more
I'm trying to hold
one
still.
more very, very, very important announcement. And this one came as a surprise. It was a very pleasant surprise. And we have been tapped to have our show broadcast
we need
on
a bell for
our.
that
I keep forgetting to bring the bell from the storage unit in the back, the very, very back, like behind the dumpster of the hotel. We have like the
I think
little
there's one.
storage shed.
Isn't there one behind that picture of Peter Seraphine you got there? There's not a bell there?
No, that's my secret stash. That's
Sorry.
my secret stash of emergency chocolate.
Not a
What?
secret anymore either, is it?
No, well, I'm gonna have to move it now. Thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks. So Before I was interrupted by One River Fish, we have been asked or tapped, as I said earlier.
I've never been tapped.
To have, well, we'll leave that for later. You're distracting me. We are going to be airing on our sister network, Odyssey Radio Network. We were contacted by one Russ Haslage. He is the president of the federation, and what is it? Trek Federation, yes. And we are going to be airing Saturdays at 9 a.m. So at the same time that it is broadcasting on Mojo 50, the show is going to be airing on Odyssey, and we're also going to be airing Mondays at 7 p.m. and Thursdays at 9 p.m. So we want to welcome our new friends from Odyssey, some old friends and some new friends. So listeners, welcome. We hope we don't disappoint. We like to think we're funny. We hope that you think we're funny too. Or at least lighthearted and stuff.
Amusing, kind of entertaining.
Mildly entertaining. Corner of your mouth, lifts up a little bit and like
you kind of twitch a little bit, like yeah. Oh, okay.
A polite smile, like when someone you don't know says hello to you, and you're like, "Hi, how are you today?" Kind of like that. Although you can't tell nowadays because people are wearing masks. But we said we weren't a political show, so we're gonna leave it at that.
Here we go.
So. Away we go. So after those housekeeping notes, let me see where we are on our prep sheet. Do we want to make the announcement of our winners?
I think we wait till the second half for that one.
Second half? Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
I did go to the Brad Staggs School of Media Relations, and I say we tease it.
We tease it?
We tease it.
All right. So the tease right now is that we have selected 2 winners from our Mojo 50 t-shirt giveaway. So thank you for all of those. Thank you to all of those people who have donated to Mojo 50. The donations don't go just exclusively to Mojo 50. It does get shared among the other networks that are part of the Cuddle Me Buff umbrella, just a company that owns Mojo 50, Odyssey, and Spoonie. So for all of you who have donated, we thank you so very much. That doesn't mean that you stop donating. Please continue to donate. And if you haven't done so already, please donate. Remember, for every $1 that is donated, your name will be entered into the drawing. And you too may be the owner of a Mojo 50 t-shirt.
Yes, the last time I was called to HR and met with, which is very often. I'm not sure why I'm always down in HR, but I did talk about this week. Yeah. So it might have been the bidet frozen Ron's butt story from last week. I think that's what I got yelled at for last time.
Well, you probably got called into the office not because the story was untrue, but because you revealed the name of the person whose butt was frozen to the bidet.
To the bidet.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like the HIPAA laws where you can kind of talk about something but not mention someone's name. So you can say, hey, this person has ABC, but you can't say the name of that person. You just know there's someone here. Something happened to someone here. And but everybody knew once you say bidet and froze.
Yeah, bidet, froze, Ron, guy behind the glass.
Yeah. When you get specific as to who it is, it really narrows down to one person who that might have been. So
I talked to Beth, and Beth did say that we're going to extend the contest into March. So should you find yourself with $1 or $2 and you want to win a chance to win a shirt, by all means, go to mojo50.com, go to donate, and put that $1 to good use. I mean, we can definitely look at our office. Look at the studio. We need to update some things. The lights kind of flicker off and on. Things are kind of way outdated. I mean, look at some of the decorations.
Look at this computer over here. Look at this computer over here. This is just like our backup monitor. You know, when we started this show, we only took this room because this was where electronics came to die. If you remember that very first episode that we did, this was literally what we had to work with. So the equipment that we're utilizing, it's not high tech. We just basically took a whole bunch of old components, we mishmashed them together, and this is what we have now. So everything that you see in the back is just like the leftover spare bits. So if anything, if it smells like it's burning, it's probably us.
Probably burning. Yeah, it is.
It's probably us. As long as we're not on fire, we'll be okay.
So, but the important thing is, when you go to the mojo50.com website and you hit donate, you go down to the bottom box in the notes, you got to put the secret word.
You got to put the secret word, yeah.
In there.
And the secret word is going to be revealed later in this episode, so stay tuned.
I almost let the cat out of the bag. Wow, I almost did that one before you.
No, we will reveal that secret word with the names of the winners of Mojo 50 t-shirts. So, are you ready?
Hit it.
All right.
Not that yet. You jumped the gun.
I had to, because I love it. I understand that you have a bit of a story.
Oh man. So
I'm not letting you get away with it, and we're halfway through the first segment. So because this is going to be a good story, I want you to tell that story first.
So I'm a lector at my church. I'm very, very active at my church. I'm at one of the biggest parishes in the area. It seats a couple thousand in the church. So picture that, if you will. I go to a Catholic church. It's a very, very big church. And when I'm not at the lecture, I sit right up front. That's why I have easy access to the podium. And I was sitting there with my daughters, all three of them. Boom, boom, boom. We're all singing the first pew all together. My wife had other things to do that morning, and she did not go to mass with us. So I went to church with my daughters. And we're sitting there and we're praying and we're getting acclimated to things. And I got up to the podium and I greeted everybody and I went back to sit back down, and Father led everyone through the first prayer. And well, part of my lector duties is to remind everyone to shut off their ringer on their phone. I did not do that because I was busy telling everyone to shut off their ringer. And apparently at some point, my wife had a question to ask me while we were bowing our heads to pray, all 1,000 of us, bowing our heads to pray. And in this moment of silence, my phone decided to ring. Yeah. By the way, everybody, I give my wife a special ringtone, and it's this song. Because this is a song I'm slightly hard of hearing, so I have my ringer always all the way freaking up. It's all the way up. It is all the way up. This way I can hear it over whatever I'm doing. And yeah, Justin Timberlake's Sexy Back came on at that point in time in the moment of silence where everyone was bowing their head and talking to God. And yeah, I have never panicked so quickly to get my hands on my phone. It took forever. It felt like forever to get that phone and hit silent and hit silent. My daughters are frantically scooting down the pew going, if no one sees him, if we're
he's not our father, we're not related.
We're not here with him. Nope. And they're trying to scoot their way away from me. Meanwhile, I'm just like, what does this crazy woman, because I knew who it was. That's my wife's ringtone. Y'all do this, don't you? Does the have a ringtone?
I haven't updated the ringtones on my phone since we got a phone. We both got new phones about 6 months ago, but I do assign specific ringtones to people so that I always know, if it's a song in Spanish, it's my mom. If it's a song that my husband absolutely loves, that's the song that plays for him. So for each person who I know contacts me through the phone, gets their special song, and then everybody else gets a standard tune.
Wait a minute, I have a question then.
Yes.
Because we talk quite frequently. What's my ringtone?
You don't have a ringtone because you don't call me, you text me.
Do I have a special text sounder?
No, not really. My phone is usually on vibrate, especially since I started a new job. I've taken to actually putting my phone on do not disturb. because I have an Apple Watch as well. So I could be in the middle of a meeting and the next thing I know, my screen says fishy. And people are going to be like, who's fishy? I'm like,
my podcast husband. My podcast husband.
no one. He's a fish that talks. No, I'm kidding. But I do have to put the phone on do not disturb so that I don't get interrupted, especially if I'm training, which I'm doing now. I'm doing trainings or I'm doing meetings or if I'm doing stuff that requires my absolute concentration. I'll put my phone on do not disturb. So there's no ringtones. But other than that, my phone remains on silent for the most part. Very rarely does my phone actually ring.
Yeah, I'll never make that mistake again in church because that happened this past Sunday.
You have an Apple Watch though. Why didn't you put your phone on silence? Your watch would have been able to tell you when your wife was calling.
I don't know. I have my ringer on and it's always up all the way and I didn't think about it. It was in my inside suit coat, pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think about it. It just all of a sudden that's all you heard was dun 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 dun. Yeah. And I'm like, oh.
No, that's not your wife calling. That's just me. That's your podcast wife calling, yeah. And I should hope that you do not use that as my ringtone. Please don't.
I have to give you a ringtone still. I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
I don't know. As long as it's not La Cucaracha, you're okay.
You don't call me either. It's always a text.
We're always texting each other. We always have texted each other. Or before we exchanged phone numbers, we just talked to each other through Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
So...
Or it's an emoji, an emoji voicemail.
Yes, which is a lot of fun. If you haven't done that, that is probably the most fun you'll have with your phone in a long time. Do a short video for your friends using your Memoji character, and you end up looking like a bobblehead. And it is hilarious because it literally is your body from the shoulders down, but your face becomes the Memoji face, whatever Memoji you're utilizing. And if you use the one that looks like you, and mine does, it literally looks like a bobblehead. It looks like a Funko version. It looks like a bobblehead Funko version of yourself.
Yeah, because yours looks spot on, even right down to the little, beauty mark on your chin.
Of course.
And mine...
Yep.
They don't have a long enough beard to make it look like me, nor is it chromed.
It'll
mine is.
You have to play with the colors a little bit. And so I tried to make one for my husband, but Tom's eyes, they're neither green nor blue. They're like the seafoam green. And I can't get the color quite right on the phone so that it looks like his eyes.
Why don't you just
so
make
it
him
either
Batman?
gives you no, because there's no option to make him Batman, and I'd rather
cool.
not.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool. It would be cool. I don't know why they haven't come up with it. I'm sure that they're probably going to work on it during whenever the next big software update is. They'll probably start adding more and more things to their Memojis and what you can do with them. I really do wish that they brought more clothing options other than like the bulky sweater and Lord knows what else. Because I don't even remember what the heck clothing they use because I don't really care all that much. I just want my face.
Are we going into the break?
We have about 2 minutes. Do you have enough time to discuss your other story?
The hookers. Hookers. Did you not look at the prep sheet this week?
Yes, I looked. I'm looking at it right now. I just don't know how long it's going to take you.
I can start the story. So if you don't know already, on my days off from the day job, I work for a certain ride sharing company. We'll call them Lyft because it's Lyft. So, and I do it.
I was going to say Luber, but that sounds dirty.
That sounds dirty. That's another job. I think it's another company. I think that does something totally else. So no, Lyft. So I've been picking up people and whatever. So Saturday night I was picking up people and I kept taking young ladies, very, very well dressed, to this certain hotel across the street from the airport. And I'm like, this is kind of odd. And it got weird because it wasn't, if you've not used a social ride sharing app, there's usually a little pin where you're picking up someone, and they have a little person right next to it, so you know where the person is. You can track the person. But on these couple trips, there was a pin and no person, and then I get a little alert from whoever I was picking them up. Hey, it says from Dan, you're picking up Crystal.
Ooh, hold that thought, because I really want to listen to where the story is going. So this is room 13. Come back in about 2 minutes, folks.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Of course.
They're still listening.
Of course.
More of a mental note for myself not to do dirty jokes at this point.
Well, we could leave that for after the show. For the bonus
13.
content.
Room 13 after dark.
Room 13 after dark. Well, for those of us who don't know the magic of radio, we actually recorded this show last night. So it is actually Friday at 10:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only time zone that matters is Eastern Standard. So it is nighttime.
And actually, if you want to say something really amusing, and I should probably go back and look, I was on Front Row Material this past Tuesday night, sampling some alcoholic beverages.
Adult beverages.
I got drunk. And it's on Twitch. And I haven't drank in quite some time. I'm a lightweight, and apparently I get loud when I get drunk. You watched it.
Yes, I did. I did.
And my volume did raise, and my face did get red.
That happens to me too. I don't drink a lot. I really keep it to a minimum. And even my husband makes fun of me because I'll go to like a restaurant and be like, I'm going to order this drink. Maybe I'll feel like having a drink. And he's like, oh, okay, you can order a drink. And if you do, then, I'll drive us back home. And then I get to the restaurant. It's like, yeah, I'll just have a Diet Coke. And my husband's like, I thought you were going to order a drink. And I changed my mind.
Yeah, no, I can't remember the last time I got drunk in front of my wife once.
Ooh, 10 seconds.
And she didn't like it. And I've never done it again.
It's not always easy. So, all right. Welcome back to room 13. Now, when we last left our friendly neighborhood fish, he was going to pick up some people.
So, so I was explaining it that these, these last couple of rides, there was a pin on the map, and I was getting little messages from different men. Hey, you're picking up Crystal. Hey, you're picking up Trixie. Hey, you're picking up, and it was
Bambi.
like all these Bambi. Oh, see, you know where this is going. And I'm like, this is really weird that I'm picking up these young ladies for these men, and I'm taking them to the same hotel over at the airport. And they're from like random parts across the city. I'm like, this is getting weird. And I'm starting to connect the dots in my head. And after like the fourth trip with the fourth young lady in this little cocktail dress and these 8-inch high heels and the hair all done, very attractive.
Oh, it's a cocktail dress, all right.
Yeah, it was. And don't mispronunciate that one.
No.
So I finally started to put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, cheap hotel, picking up local girls, taking to hotel. They are not the customer. They are the cargo, for lack of a better word, and take them to the hotel. So I finally, I'm like, hey, Crystal? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, can I ask a question? She's like, sure. And I'm like, I'm just gonna be blunt. She's like, go ahead. And we had already had a cool conversation back and forth about this and that. I'm like, you going to the hotel? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you know the guy? I'm like, friend from out of town? She's like, and didn't have an answer for me. It was just kind of like, and she's,
That was the answer.
No, because I pushed further because I was already annoyed. I'm like, you don't know them, do you? She's like, well, not, are you a hooker? And there was this pause. 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, I'm not a cop. I'm like, I don't care. She's like, yes. And I'm like, just checking. I'm like, son of a gun. I'm like, this has been happening for like a couple months now, where I've kind of noticed that I'm picking up people that aren't the person from the account, and I'm taking them to different hotels. And I'm like, this is fairly brilliant. I don't approve of it. I understand. I'm like, fairly brilliant, but yeah, I don't know how long this is going to keep on going. And I have a couple friends with a local police department in said town, and I've since made phone call to Buddy, and I'm like, dude, you might want to look into something. I'm like, because
yes,
yeah.
thank you for doing the right thing, because in as much as, yes, we're not a political show, politics does not have to come involved in doing the right thing. And if you see something, you say something. And I guess we can all agree that in situations like that, you don't know if underage girls may be involved or what other kind of activity may be going on. So it's always a good idea, and it's always the right thing to alert the authorities, especially when it comes to something like that. Even if it ends up being all consenting adults, we're free thinking people, and if two people want to enter into a contract where goods and services are exchanged, then as long as it's not hurting me or hurting my pocket, you do whatever you want. But at the same time, you kind of have to keep an eye on things, because there are some people that will not necessarily have the opportunity to say this isn't right and no, I don't want to do this. That just creates more problems down the line. So thank you for doing the right thing. And well,
She did tip me.
Hopefully, no, of course she didn't.
No, she did. She did.
Hopefully Crystal got off okay.
I don't know what you mean by that statement. I'm a good Catholic boy. I think we've established that already.
I'm
the lector at my church.
I'm just saying, I hope she made it out okay. That's all I have to say about that.
You said got off.
So, well, yes. Given her line of work, yes.
I hope someone got off.
Someone got something, that's for sure.
Did I ever tell you that story?
Oh boy.
It's a quick one. I used to work as a bouncer at a strip club.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows this one. I think I've shared this piece of information.
You've shared that information before, yes.
Yeah, it was 20 years ago when I was. Wow, this song's gonna get a heavy workout all night. It's gonna get a lot of workout.
You're talking about your time as a bouncer at the strip club. So what do you think I'm gonna play?
So
I'm gonna keep that, just so you know.
At the end of the night, I made sure I kept the door, open and got people out, and when it was closing time, and and it was a very upstanding establishment.
Mm-hmm.
I had to wear a tux when I was bouncing.
Wow.
Yeah, the poor guy that bleeds on my tux usually got a little extra something because I had to pay for it. So I would always, though, say thank you for coming, which I always thought was premature. That was my joke. That was my story. Thank you very much. Try the veal. Make sure you tip your staff.
Oh, you're going to be tipping them all right. So we are going to we're going to take a quick moment. This is the last couple of days of the month of February, and as you all know, we do our Spotlight nonprofit or charity organization of the month. So this is the last couple of days to talk about Liberty Manor for Veterans. As we have discussed in previous weeks, Liberty Manor for Veterans is an organization that's dedicated to promote the developmental and social needs of disabled, honorably discharged veterans who have fallen victim to homelessness by providing them with transitional supported housing and establishing objectives designed to attribute to self-sufficiency. The Liberty Manor for Veterans is the very first residential program of its kind in America. It provides housing to veterans who have become homeless as a result of an unemployment situation or an injury that has left the veteran unemployable. There's many residential programs out there that are designed for veterans that suffer from drug addiction or mental health issues, but there really isn't something available for veterans who are just going through a bad streak, going through a bad moment with themselves and their family, and they just need a little help. So this is a great opportunity to provide them and perhaps their family, because some of these veterans would be homeless veterans with families. So it gives them the great opportunity to have a roof over their head, get themselves up, pick themselves up by the bootstraps, give them a hand, and give them the opportunity to get a better opportunity for themselves and for their family. Um, as you know, they have a Facebook page. Their Facebook page is Liberty Manor for Veterans Inc. There's actually another one that I found. I don't know if they're the same one, but go with the Liberty Manor for Veterans Inc. Facebook page. Or if you wish to donate, you can do so at libertymanor.org, libertymanor.org. So,
I touched something.
Yes, you did. You're always touching stuff.
I shouldn't have touched that.
I shouldn't have touched that. Well, while you do that, we have a couple of things that we have to get to.
What do I do with my hands?
Thank you for calling room 13. If you would like to leave a dad joke, please press 1.
This is new.
If you would like to leave any other message, please press 2. But if this is Peter Seraphine from Liberty Lighthouse,
Look
you
at that.
can press
I get my
3.
own option.
Thank you and have a great day.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has
Why, you son of a fish. I know this was you. Rocky is way too sweet to do something like this.
Thank you for calling room 13. If you would like to leave a dad joke, please press 1.
I was calling to leave a dad joke, but thanks to Mojo Riverfish and his stupid pranks, no joke for you.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
I cannot tell you how much I loved that. That's cool. That's Peter Seraphine from Liberty Lighthouse. Peter Seraphine, Liberty Lighthouse. Heard here, 8 o'clock.
Heard on Mojo 50 at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes. And we have another dad joke. This is from our good friend, the Knights Who Say Nee.
Hello, Rocky. Hello, Fish. This is the Knights Who Say Nee. I wanted to share a dad joke with you, but honestly, I'm really considering leaving the internet forever. I am sick and tired of all the chain mail.
Of all the chainmail.
We got one more.
Oh boy.
I'll get
One
it.
sec. I guess I'm going to have to answer that one. Hello, room 13. Oh, hey, it's Melissa Sippy from Off Track Syndicate. How are you today, hun? Ooh, you have a mom joke. That's really a thing? Oh, the jokes are even funnier than dad jokes. All right, if you say so, I'm all about that. Shoot, what do you have? Have you ever tried target shooting with a blindfold? Huh. You don't know what you're missing. Yeah, that's very funny. Oh no, I get it. Well, I'm in the middle of recording right now, so hey, I'm looking forward to hearing you tomorrow at 8 p.m. on Mojo 50, okay? You have a great day, hun. Okay, bye-bye now. Okay, bye. We gotta change our phone number.
You keep saying
I love
that.
Melissa. I love Melissa Sippy though, so I'm all about Melissa Sippy.
She's the smart one too.
Yes, she is. She's much better looking than the other three.
Oh, not even a contest.
She's clearly the eye candy. Just like you. You're the eye candy of the show.
Eye candy and the brains.
That's right. Allegedly. So it's time for stories. You ready? Do you want to go first or do you want me to go?
Do we want to announce the contest winner first?
Oh, yes. I was almost going to forget. Oh my goodness. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so I don't have a drum roll. I don't have a drum roll. How about this?
Yeah, that's about right.
I don't have a drum roll. I'm sorry. So we have selected from our long list of donors for Mojo 50 and Mojo Riverfish. Do you have the envelope?
Oh, I think Ari ate it. I told you who the winners were. I did that little app and I spun the little wheel and everything. What?
Okay, no, I thought that you were going to do it like all special and put it in a gold envelope for us to open like the award ceremony shows.
No,
not that anybody watches them, but I'm just going by memory.
I'll end up doing something like Steve Harvey.
And this is true. But no, these people are actually our winners. So we would like to formally congratulate one Debbie Treadway.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie, for the donation. And one James Phipps. Yay! I know who that is. I know who that is. I know who both of those people are. Debbie is from Facebook, and James is, well, he's James.
She says my eyes sparkle.
Yes, she does.
I saw that.
That comment had absolutely no weight in the decision on how to choose winners.
No, it didn't help.
This was actually done with an app that randomizes names, so the names actually did come up as such.
Good idea. Very good. Let's hold to that one.
Yes, it's because it's true.
I know.
It's true. You were like, I put the names in the app, and these are the two names I came up with. And I'm like, all right, I didn't even know they had an app that did that, but okay.
Oh, there's like 50 of them. I had to. Oh, that was really cool. Oh, yeah, and they do it really cool. There's a big wheel, and it spins for you, and it makes sounds. It was cool.
Interesting. All right, so how about? Oh, before we move on. Because we're going to continue doing the contest for the Mojo 50 t-shirts, don't forget, for every $1 that you donate at mojo50.com/donate, your name will be entered into a drawing for a Mojo 50 t-shirt. Just to make sure that when you donate, you include the secret word of the week. And in honor of our of being added to the lineup on Odyssey, the magic word is Odyssey. ODYSY. So that is going to be the keyword, the secret word to include with your donations for this week. So don't forget, go to mojo50.com/donate. When you do, enter in your notes Odyssey so that we know that it is coming from you, and your name will be added into the spinning wheel of winners, and you too may win a Mojo 50 t-shirt. So get to donating.
Yeah. So the winners, James Phipps, Debbie Treadway, DM me or us on Facebook. Some way. We need your size of your t-shirt and your address, so we know where we're going to ship it off to. So size and address.
I believe that Debbie is mostly on Facebook. So Debbie, go to the Room 13 Radio Show Facebook page and send us a direct message. Fish and I both have access to that inbox. So once we see your message come in, same thing with you, Mr. Phipps. Send all your information through any of the social media accounts that we have, and let us know your details, and we will be sending those out to you. So there we go. Away we go. Any other things that I'm forgetting before we get to our stories?
No, we're good now.
We're good now. Okay, excellent. So how about you? How about you start?
So we're going to answer that age-old question. Not only do we now know what to do with our hands, but does a bear poop in the woods? And the answer is apparently no. An Alaska woman was attacked by a bear while using an outhouse.
Is it a good idea for there to be an outhouse in Alaska?
I don't know.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't know, because that's one of those states that I feel that there are a lot of things there that would kill me. It's like Florida, only north.
Hey, don't disparage my home state.
We're
not that bad.
An Alaska woman had the scare of a lifetime when using an outhouse in the backcountry, and she was attacked by a bear from below. I got out there and sat down on the toilet, and immediately something bit my butt. Right as I sat down, Shannon Stevens told the Associated Press on Thursday. I jumped up and I screamed when it happened. Oh, I bet. When Yogi tried to bite your picnic basket. Stevens, her brother Eric, and his girlfriend had taken snowmobiles into the wilderness. You like that one, don't you?
The picnic basket.
Hey, boo-boo, look at that. It's a picnic basket with a break in it. So her brother Eric and his girlfriend had taken snowmobiles into the wilderness February 13th to stay at his yurt. What's a yurt?
$20 save us downtown.
Located 20 miles northwest of Haines in southwest Alaska. Her brother heard the screaming and went into the outhouse about 150 feet away from his yurt. I still ask, what is a yurt? There, he found Shannon tending to her wound. They at first thought she had been bitten by a squirrel or a mink.
Whoa.
Or
it must have been
small.
some squirrel.
Maybe it's one of those New York squirrels. Eric brought his headlamp with him to see what it was. I opened the toilet seat and there was a bear face. Just right there at the level of the toilet seat. Wow. Just looking right back up through the hole at me. I just shut the lid as fast as I could. There's a bear down there. We got to get out of here right now, he said. And we ran back to the yurt as fast as we could. I feel like that's a Dr. Seuss book. Once safely back inside, they treated Shannon with a first aid kit. They determined it wasn't serious. She got bit by a bear in the butt. Come on. But would they head to Haines? They would head to Haines if it worsened. It was bleeding, but it wasn't super bad. The next morning, they found the bear tracks all over the property, but the bear had left the area. You could see them across the snow coming up to the side of the outhouse. They figured the bear had got inside the outhouse through an opening at the bottom of the back door. I expect it's probably not that bad of a little den in the winter. He made a home in where you go poop. This is not the smartest bear in the world.
No, but I guess he found the butt that was just right because the other ones were either too big or too small.
Hey, boo-boo, look at there. There's a moon. Yes. So...
And just so you know, a yurt is it's like a hut, a tent that's, I guess, like the metal, the frame is metal and it's like a round structure, and they use like animal pelts and animal skin to kind of like cover it. So that's what a yurt
they call it a
is. I don't know. They call it a yurt because it's a yurt. Not to be confused with a ute.
What's a ute?
$20 save us downtown.
We gotta get a lot of miles out of that joke tonight.
It's still, it never goes old. Never goes old.
Nope,
But at least she made it. At least she made it okay. You know, well, granted, she probably will reconsider utilizing an outhouse to go. You know, seeing as how it's potentially dangerous. You know, if you like your butt, you can keep your butt indoors.
I feel like we can do our own little wilderness rule number 25. Make sure there's not a bear where you're going to put your derriere.
That should be a t-shirt.
That might be a shirt. That might be a shirt. So, in keeping with the theme that you had earlier about church and things like that, and you being a lector there and all of that,
You celebrate Lent, right? Do you celebrate Lent?
Yes, I lent my snowblower to my neighbor last week.
Not that kind of Lent.
Yes, I celebrate Lent.
You celebrate Lent. Okay, good. We have Ohio man.
Oh dear.
He's going to continue his Lent tradition of a beer-only diet.
Oh, I can't see how this goes wrong.
No. Apparently, it's not the first time that he does it. So this year's period of Lent started just last week. During this time, people who celebrate or who are of the Christian faith will take this period of time. What is it, about 6 weeks? Like a 6-week period. It's the lead up to Easter. Most people choose to make a sacrifice as a representation of the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. And some people give up, eating chocolate or not spending as much time on the phone or spending more time with family or not watching so much trash TV or reading a book or... Well, this Ohio man had a different idea because this gentleman, Del Hall, from Cincinnati, Ohio, has given up all food and most of their beverages to subsist only on beer during this period of Lent. Now, Mr. Hall is going to allow himself to drink water and black coffee and green tea, but that's it. For the next 5 to 6 weeks, Hall's only source of calories is going to be that sweet, sweet barley juice. Now, it may seem as an extreme stunt to you, but it stands to scrutiny when you take into account Hall's character. My pendulum doesn't swing towards moderation, Hall told the Cincinnati Enquirer. It's not the first time Hall goes beer only either. This is the 3rd year in a row that he undertakes his unique Lenten fast. So his beer fast isn't completely without precedent, but to find a similar tradition, you'll have to turn the clock back several centuries, because the monks used to do something like that in the 1600s. So this isn't the first time that something like this happened. So he's just continuing with that tradition in addition to celebrating Lent. So fasting is a big part of being human, and we don't really do that anymore. So the 46-year-old decided that he wanted to do that. He isn't someone who's constantly cracking open beers. And since Lent is about moderation, boozing it up around the clock would pretty seriously violate that principle. You're supposed to curb the things. And again, like I said, to make the sacrifice, but he decided that that's how he wants to do it. So he says, it's not like I'm drinking constantly. I only have 3 to 5 beers a day. If you eat your standard diet, it gets boring. You don't eat the same thing every day. So I'm definitely not going to drink the same thing every day, he said about his plans to vary his beer intake. For those curious about those facts, the USDA says that on average, 1 beer contains 154 calories. That puts Hall's daily caloric intake between 462 and 770 calories, more or less. So now an all-beer diet can't be called healthy by any means, but Hall says that he has actually seen several benefits from it. Beer might be associated with... Hey, beer is healthy, okay? This is what we're trying to get at now.
Wait, can I guess what are the benefits? Did his girlfriend get better looking?
Well, his beer, he only has 5 beers a day, so I don't know. I don't think he drinks them in a row. I think he probably lets some time pass in between, and he drinks other things too. So probably by the time that he drinks his next beer, he may have had a couple of cups of coffee or bottles of water. So it probably may not have that kind of effect. But, he says here that beer might be associated with developing an impressive belly, but perhaps unsurprisingly, Hall loses a lot of weight during his fast. He says that every year he's lost anywhere between 40 and 50 pounds when he goes on this diet.
Ooh.
So I'm pretty sure that his doctors don't necessarily agree with his assessment. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. But with Lent, you make the sacrifices that you think best fit you. And according to Mr. Del Hall from Cincinnati, Ohio, that's the kind of sacrifice he wants to make. So if he's someone that doesn't drink all that much, then I can definitely see something like that working for him.
I was going to say Dean Martin and Foster Brooks would approve.
Yeah, but then again, I get the reference because I like Dean Martin. But yeah, no, it's like when your blood type is gin, you have a problem. But if that's not the case for you, then enjoy your couple of beers and you observe Lent the best way that you see fit. And if it's by drinking 5 beers a day, then go right ahead and enjoy.
Oh my God.
What?
Do you ever get a stomach cramp from laughing so much?
It happens when you're old.
Oh my gosh.
And everything starts hurting.
I have this pain going right up my ribs. It's not my kidney for once.
No, you got rid of that problem already 2 weeks ago. So here we are at the end of our show. Thank you so much for coming along with us. We hope that you have a great weekend, and we hope to see you back here next week. Say goodnight, Fish.
Oh, good night, Fish.
What killed you?
I put my leg up on the computer just to kind of lean back a little bit, and I went forward a little bit, and everything, my abs like contracted, and huge cramp like right through my stomach.
Oh geez.
It's not the first time that's happened, but holy crap.
Getting old sucks. It's funny because I was talking to my new boss about it yesterday, how, once you hit a certain age, like once you hit 40s and you move forward every year after 40, it's like you start noticing all of the aches and pains, and your body's just not cooperating with you anymore. Everything hurts and you're dying kind of thing.
Yeah, my warranty wore off.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody calls me to extend the warranty of my vehicle, but nobody wants to extend the warranty of all of this.
Yeah.
So I call BS on that.
It's like
this is water, people. It's
water. Like dumbass things just keep on happening where it's kind of like, son of a bitch. I'm like, why does that hurt? I didn't even do anything. I woke up with that hurting. I can't believe that hurts now. It's a pain in my ass.
And that's how it is. So we are in the after hours segment.
Yogi's story was fun.
Huh?
Yogi's story was fun.
That was funny. What is a yurt?
And now all I can picture is that actor from whatchamacallit, My Cousin Vinny. What's a ute?
Yeah,
two utes. What's a ute?
Fred Wynn, right? I think it was Fred Wynn.
No, wasn't Fred Wynn the
was it Fred
uncle?
Wynn?
Fred Wynn's the uncle. He's the guy that does the voice of Tigger. Fred Wynn.
No, that's Jim Cummings. When that guy dies, my childhood will die with him. The guy who plays Tigger's voice plays Winnie the Pooh. I think he does Piglet. He did. Gosh.
He was the uncle on Mary Poppins. I love to laugh. He.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the guy who currently does the voice. He's a voice actor. He also does like Pete the Cat in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse show. He does a lot of voice work, and if you hear his voice, you'll recognize it. But if anything happens to him, my childhood is literally going to die with him. It's kind of like when Screech died. It's like, no, not Screech. He was the lovable nerd.
I listened to whatchamacallit, Zach, Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Mm-hmm.
He has a podcast, and they review every episode of Saved by the Bell, episode by episode. and that's the one everyone's waiting for, is the Screech episode. Now that he's passed away,
Oh, he's gonna friggin' cry.
it's going to be bad. I mean, not good at all, because the way he talks about them coming up together, it's very they're friends, or they were friends back then. He talks about him very, very nicely.
It was Fred Gwynn. I was off by that much.
There you go.
It starts with a G. Gwynne. So he was the guy that also played Herman Munster. That's where I remember him from. But
that's where I know him from.
Yeah. So yeah, I know when Dustin Diamond died, I was like, no. I mean, I know that he was sick because I remember seeing it in the news. What was that, like less than 6 months ago?
Yeah.
That he had like stage 4 cancer. I'm like, that's a death sentence, but he was probably doing worse than we all thought. So my childhood kind of died with him there. Saved by the Bell was one of the shows that at least once I reached my teenage years, that used to be like my after school, after I would come home from school like around 3:30, and I think it would air between like 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I never cared for 90210, but I did watch Saved by the Bell. And it's one of those shows that I watched probably since the beginning, since before it was actually called Saved by the Bell. I was like, what's it, Good Morning Miss Honey or something like that?
Good Morning Miss. Oh God. It only lasted for 1 season, and then they switched it.
I don't know if it was it Miss Honey or
no. Good Morning Miss.
It was.
Oh, I just listened to the episode too. I can't remember what it was.
Good Morning.
Good morning.
Good Morning, Miss Bliss. I don't
it.
know why I forgot about it, because Miss Bliss was the name of the teacher.
Yes.
Was the name of the teacher? Yeah, I know. So there was something that I wanted to discuss with you.
Shit.
That I wanted to use it. No, well, I wanted to use it for the show. But I guess we can use it for the extra content for those people that want to stick around and listen to what happens once we finish recording the show. These are conversations that we get into after we finish recording.
Oh, we're still recording, by the way.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We still are. So thank you for sticking around. So I don't want to be an asshole. And since now it's just us, we're not going to be cursing up a storm, but we're going to be using some words here and there. I don't want to be an asshole, but is it almost like, am I being a glutton for punishment when
Yes.
a friend, let me speak first. No, I value friendships to the point that I will bend over backwards to keep friendships. It's like, I'm sure you know that, because we've been talking to each other for how long now? I don't even know. But we've been talking to each other for a long time, and I really value friendships. I don't take them lightly. I like to make friends, and I like to keep friends. But I sometimes wonder whether I'm too hard, or not too hard, almost like too forgiving with people. I sometimes feel like I should let them go, when they decide to go their own way, or when they decide to be, a jerk to me. It's like I still hold on to hope that these friendships come back at some point, or I found myself in a situation where I have this friend. I've had this friend for a very long time. We've gone through a lot together, and the relationship has changed drastically in the last year or so. And I still maintain that sense of friendship despite the fact that it has changed, it has morphed into something else. And this person said something the other day that I received it only because, when you communicate through things like social media or texts or things like that, you understand them and you perceive that message differently than what the meaning was intended or the meaning that it was intended with. But this person said something in a matter that I found to be hurtful. And I kept asking myself, like, did I do something wrong? And while I wanted to turn around and be petty, um, I didn't, because I still care a lot about this particular person. So am I being a glutton for punishment for almost holding on to the hope that things go back to a sense of normalcy between this friend and I? Because I keep looking at my phone, or at the social media, or at this, that, and the other, the way that I communicate with this person. And, should I say something? Should I just let them say whatever they want? I can't control how they feel, or how they feel, or what they feel, or what they say. Should I let it slide, or should I, just say, fine, screw you, don't talk to me ever again?
Well, because in one sense, if you burn the bridge, there is no crossing back. And if you just let them walk, at least the bridge is still there for them to walk back.
And that's the thing. It's like, when you invest this much time in someone, I value, I mean, it could be because I'm a woman, and because I'm a woman, I have feelings.
I have
Yes.
feelings.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, we get to be over emotional, but we also over analyze things a lot. And I don't want to do that, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to break that friendship. I don't want that friendship to end. And it hurts me when it feels that way. When it feels like I don't have my friend anymore. But part of me is like, well, if this is the path that you want to choose, then go right ahead, walk through that door. But the moment that you walk through that door, there's very little chance that I'm going to let you come back in. Or should I just say, yes, I should always welcome you with open arms?
The last one. Is that not the answer you wanted?
It's the answer that I always lean towards, but I guess my question was more like, am I being a glutton for punishment, or am I being like eternally hopeful and optimistic that there's always a point in which you can come back from, like you're never too far gone?
Yeah, but that's you. That's always been your personality.
Yeah, I suppose.
Sorry.
No, I know. And you and I have discussed this in other types of conversations before. And you always tell me, oh, you always do this, or you always say this. And I was like, yes, because I still want this person in my life. I don't want to close that door, because that's a long time of feelings and ideas that we've exchanged, and so much that you share with someone. I'm not saying that it's like a spouse, but it's almost that sense of intimacy that you share with that person, and you feel like, I have shared all of this stuff with you, and you decide to just walk away from it for whatever reason. Should I expect you to come back at some point, or should I say, well, then what's done is done. I wish you the best in life. Don't contact me ever again, kind of stuff. But I'm not that kind of person. I can't.
No, I'm that type of person.
I guess that's the thing. It's like, in my mind, I'm like, I can't live my life pretending that you weren't in it.
Yeah.
So, and I promise this is water, folks. I'm not, this isn't drunk Rocky saying, I love you, man, or woman, because We don't know who we're talking about here. I'm not casting any, I'm not assigning gender. Like Mr. Potato Head, I'm not assigning gender to
shoot me.
this person.
Son of a bitch. Oh, good. I could swear on this program. Cool.
Well, we're off the air now. It's just us talking. So this is
Yeah,
Room 13. This is Room 13 housekeeping. This is the concept of what we want to do with Room 13 housekeeping. You know,
From here, I'm safe. I'm in a safe spot.
it's where you're in a safe spot. Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Potato Head has been a staple of childhoods everywhere. There's a Mr. Potato Head, there's a Mrs. Potato Head. And the concept of Potato Head has always been that you take the bits and pieces and you switch them around.
So he transitions.
He transitions to what literally, if you really want to put it that way, Mr. Potato Head has been the first trans toy.
He's been gender fluid.
Before Transformers.
Ooh.
Before Transformers,
Well played.
Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head has been a gender neutral toy. Just because it has Mr. and Mrs. in the front, when you take off the bits and pieces, there's no way for you to recognize which is Mr. Potato Head and which one's Mrs. Potato Head. Because all you do is switch the eyeballs out and the lips and the hat, and if they're carrying a purse or whatever, the arms are the same. Maybe the color and the mold of the shoe may be different. But if you take them both and you take all the bits and pieces off, all you see is a plastic potato.
Every time you say bits and pieces off, my knees keep slamming together. I'm still having flashbacks of the freaking catheter. People, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the last episode. I go into
back
great
to last
detail
week's
about
episode. Yeah.
If you don't want to listen to it there, you go to Front Row Material, the other show I'm on, and I go into even more graphic material on how that whole thing went down, because I can swear on that program.
Yes, he can. So, that's why. Yes, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish up your.
No. I was going to say that was my conundrum. Because it's been bugging me all week. It's like, whatever. Let's just leave it at that. Time will tell when it comes to that. I don't want to block people and I don't want to stop talking to people, but
Unfriend, block. What's the other ones?
Unfriend, block, report for spam.
I think I've been reported a couple times by said person because my account got flagged a bunch of times.
I'm not saying that this is I am just speaking in general. I am not naming any names or pointing fingers or naming names. I'm just saying it's a situation, and it's probably not the first time that it has happened, but it has happened recently, like in the past 2 years or so. And it's like part of me is, because I'm a woman and this is what I do, it's like, have I done something wrong? Like what have I done that has cost this? How did I get myself into this situation, more like? Because I always put the blame on me.
But oh man, you're gonna make me be serious. I hate this.
We don't have to.
In any relationship, you still need both parties to agree. It's got to be a compromise. It's got to be a two-way street. It can't just be one person.
This is true. And that's the thing. It's like, I always thought that this dynamic that we had was always about give and take, and I give selflessly. I do things truly out of the goodness of my heart. And I always become leery of it, because it's like, at what point does it become you taking advantage of the fact that I want to make you happy?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. Anyway, you were going to say something. You have the floor now.
I forgot what it was.
Oh.
Although I was going to bring up during the show the interview I got to do this week.
That's right. I was there for part of it, because I love my friends and I support them. I was there to watch Mr. Fish be on the other show. I'm like the podcast wife, and Mikey is like
my gay lover.
Sure.
I know he's watching.
Sorry, Mike. I'm sure you're a really nice guy, but
And his wife is lovely.
you're the side chick.
Oh.
You're the side piece. Because
Yeah.
I was here first. Was I? No.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, you were.
What? I was? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Our show predates that show. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You're the
But
side chick.
I got to do my first celebrity interview. No, that's not my first celebrity interview.
No, it's not.
I've done other celebrities too, interviews wise.
You've done other celebrities. Well, you should get around.
I was the corresponding reporter for my college newspaper. I got sent to the Sabres games, so I interviewed hockey players.
That sounds like fun.
I didn't tell you that story, did I?
No, I don't think so. Save it for the show.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, more than 20 years.
Yeah.
But I got to
We
interview.
graduated high school in the mid to late 90s.
I got to interview a wrestler on Tuesday. It was kind of cool. It was a wrestler I really, really admired. Where I'm just like, son of a bitch, this is cool.
It took me a while because as much as I grew up, because I grew up with younger brothers, they used to watch wrestling a lot. But at that point, when the person that you interviewed came on the scene, it was already like past the point where I wasn't watching wrestling with them anymore. They continued and they still do watch wrestling, but it's not, I kind of outgrew that phase, not outgrew, but once I started working and I started hanging out with my work friends and working on the weekends and then hanging out with my work friends after we finished working, I spent less and less time with them. So I'm pretty sure that if I let them know who you were interviewing with, they probably would get a kick out of it.
Yeah, for anybody that wants to play the game at home, I interviewed the sinister minister, the devil himself, Father James Mitchell. And I did not know he was going to be on the show that day until he popped up on the screen. My partner
And Mikey was
in crime.
Mikey was trying so hard to not say who it was. He was trying so hard.
He's like, ECW legend. I'm like, okay, that could be anybody. He's like, okay, manager. And I'm like, okay, that could be a lot of different
Give me any
guys.
hints. Give me a hint.
And then he's just like, well, here he is. And I'm like, and he announced him, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
You should have seen Fish's reaction. He literally was like, he was fangirling. He was internally screaming. And it was hilarious to watch.
It's all over Twitter because apparently it was the biggest downloaded show they've ever had.
Good.
So I got that bit of good news. And then everyone in below it's commenting, oh my gosh, Fish looked like a little boy seeing his hero. It was hilarious. He was awesome, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, y'all have no idea that I sat there and I was very, very conscious of the words I was about to choose. I'm like, what's the most intelligent question I can ask? I'm like, I want to ask a good intelligent question. I want him to like me. I really hope he likes me. I really want him to like me. It's like, oh, for Pete's sakes.
Yeah, you don't want to embarrass yourself, but you did a good job. I didn't stick around for long because I did have to go to sleep because I work. Not that you don't work, but I have to be up early in the morning to get the kid ready for school and all of that stuff. So it took I had to cut that short, but I did open a Twitch account for you.
Oh.
So that I can see you and support you when you're with your side chick.
Yeah, well, my side piece bailed on me halfway through the interview. All of a sudden, his screen went blank. Apparently, he had to use the restroom. So for like 10 or 15 minutes, I'm sitting there going, I'm by myself. Oh, and I have no.
This is going to turn out well.
Yeah, and I had some questions like I was thinking about. So I got to drop some questions and let him on a very good conversation. And then Mikey came back and I'm like, thank God. I'm like, don't leave me. And I'm texting him back and forth. I'm like, why would you leave me? Why did you leave me? He's like, oh, you got this. You're fine. I'm like, you're a professional. And I'm like,
exactly. You do one radio show and all of a sudden people think that you're an expert on things. I'm like, I just show up.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, I'm not. No. I'm like, I have 2 other shows. I'm like, no, this is.
I just show up and I talk. It's the extent of my talent.
Even on my other show, all I do is blah 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 for like 10 minutes and I'm out.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. You're still doing your Motivation You podcast. So, in case you don't follow Fish's podcasts, please do. They're inspirational and funny, just like Fish. It's like an extra dose of Fish.
I made you cry on the one. I don't remember which one I made you cry on.
Yes, well,
I know I pulled the string on one of them.
yeah. My tiny, tiny heart. Some people might say I don't have one.
Just that one person.
Just that one person.
That one person.
But that's okay. I mean, we
And
just sit and wait.
our favorite coffee person did me a favor.
Tim?
Yes, not Tim. Dave.
Dave.
Dave. The wife made a coffee order.
I have to place an order, actually.
A nice size one. And apparently she might have clicked something wrong or something went wrong because it was he tweeted at me. He's like, "Hey, I can save you some money if you want if I just, change the shipping, change how it's shipped." I'm like, "By all means, go ahead. Save me $10."
He's done that. He's done that with orders that I've placed where I guess the website rates, it gives you a specific rating for shipping, but he can bypass it if he packages it differently, so he can save you a couple of times. Because like a couple of times I've gotten emails from API from AmericanPrideRoasters.com telling me that I'm getting a refund, a partial refund on my order. I'm like, but I haven't ordered anything. It's like I'm still going through the coffee that I ordered from last time, and it's usually like a refund or partial refund on the shipping charge. So Dave really has a way of taking care of you as a customer, especially when you're a loyal customer.
And I forgot to even mention the fact that our dad joke segment is brought to you by American Pride Roasters. There's so much on that prep sheet.
It gets lost. Guys, you have no idea how much hard work goes into this. I'm the one taking care of the production aspect, so I have to make sure that all of the audio clips and all the fun little sounds and things like that you hear are here. On Thursdays, I'm asking Fish, what do we need? Am I missing anything? Was there anything special, anything else that you can think of that we need? We review the prep sheet, make sure that we have our stories, make sure that we have our little jokes or whatever it is that we're working on. It's a lot of work. It's still a lot of fun. But there's some work, man.
The opening is usually written by Monday night.
Yes. And I think, don't you already have one planned for next week?
I have the next couple weeks already planned out in advance.
Yes. Yeah.
They're already well planned.
Okay.
Unless you come up with something funnier or there's something you want to hit, they're already ready to go.
I just show up. With all of the sounders, with the exception of the one that we were missing today. The drum roll, which I'll download because that's definitely going to come in handy for the next time that we hit the donation milestones. But everything else I'm keeping. And I'm keeping that sexy back sounder.
That's going to get us in trouble with Facebook.
That's why we have to talk over it. It's unfortunate, not unfortunate, but that would have been a good sounder to use for the hooker story too.
Yeah.
That's why I continued using it though, because it was such fun though.
On the fun note, those are the stories that aren't pre-planned. They usually happen the weekend prior to the show. Mm-hmm. And it's usually I start texting you like Sunday, like, son of a bitch. You'll never guess what happened.
Well, that's why some of these stories just kind of when you put it on the prep sheet, just kind of do like you did this time. It's like, hookers again. It's like, what? And I'm like, I'm not going to ask. As tempted as I may feel to ask for him to expand, I'd say, no, just leave it for the show. Let's leave it for the show.
That was the one story I didn't tell you about. I told you about the other one prior. Mm-hmm. I told you about the church one Sunday.
Yes.
I sent you the video where I'm like, oh, I got to get this off my chest.
Yeah. So,
although apparently I'm going to Walmart tomorrow because this camera's going to bug the crap out of me. This is not good.
I'll send you the Amazon link of the camera because I think I bought it through Amazon actually. I'll text it to you momentarily. So folks, That's
I
it
like the
for
black
this
and white.
evening. Yes, the black and white filter is actually really nice, but folks, we're going to end the feed here. Thank you so much for sticking around. We really do hope that you come back on Saturday to watch our video and hang out with us for a little bit longer. To all of our friends at Odyssey, thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much, Russ, for letting us be part of the network.
I wonder if he's never heard the show.
Shocked. Oh, he has.
Really?
He asked for
And
us
he still picked us?
specifically. He asked for us specifically. Specifically. And I want to say within hours of us having a Facebook page. Like I think it was less than 24 hours since I started the Facebook page that I got a message from Russ asking if it was okay for our show to air on Odyssey. I'm like, heck yes.
Hey Russ, please look over my left shoulder. Look over Rocky's left shoulder. Already in the studio. Already there.
There you go. Fun stuff. And Peter's picture. I like the special touch of Peter's picture there.
And our Lucky Doc picture.
Our Lucky
Where's
Doc
Lucky
over
Doc
there.
picture?
Oh, there.
In front row material.
Oh, it goes away because of my filter. And front row material
Something
right
else.
there. So, and stuff.
Oh well.
Got our secret Easter eggs. So yeah, make sure that you keep an eye on the background picture, folks, because we've got Easter eggs. We have the Mojo 50 back there and stuff. Well, just keep an eye out. You'll find fun little things like that. So, thank you so much for sticking around, guys. Bye.